Okay, so we have here, we're going to start today with the walls. And we have here raw umber, titanium white, and I had here titanium buff, and this is Naples yellow. So we're going to go with that kind of color that is neutral color. And what I'm mixing right now, I mixed raw umber, lots of titanium buff, and a bit of white. Not much, not a lot of white, just a bit, because I don't want it to look beige. You know, that's why I'm adding a white in there as well. And at this point, I have a kind of enough in here, and I'm going to start adding the Naples yellow. That will make the color warm, look more warm. And now I can bring in white, the rest of the white in here, and I will get a very neutral, nice color. Now, for the first layer, we don't want to go too light, but this is good. This is good enough. It's going to dry darker, for sure. And also because we have we primed the canvas in burnt umber, the first layer is going to be the first layer is going to dry darker, which is fine, because I like the first layer to be darker, and then I can highlight slowly. Just get something like kind of a creamy.
Does it usually look lighter in the screen layout?
Yes, yes. I'm trying right now exposure. I'm gonna try to lower a bit so you can see it. Don't look at the painting here. Look at the color. This is kind of the color I have right now. Like this. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's lighter than mine. I'll have to add more white.
Okay. Whatever is left over, usually, if I have enough left over, I put it in a jar, small jar, and I keep it. I'm going to spray the color with a bit of water to keep it moist. And I'm going to start oh, I like it. I like this color. First layer is going to be a little bit messy, but that's okay. We can just kind of, because you don't want the paint to look flat. So if you get this kind of texture, any kind of texture, it's fine. Don't go too thick, first layer. So you'll have room to go darker. Now, I am going to do an, very kind of, take a bit of the raw umber here, and I'm going to put the raw umber on top. This is where the tree and the foliage is going to be. So let's just kind of go a little bit darker on top. Like I mentioned, first layer is going to be messy. And the more layers we put, the lighter the color is going to look. Because when it's drying, it dries darker right here, the first layer, because of the brown underneath. Okay. All right. Now underneath the windowsill, we're going to put a bit of more raw umber for shadow right here. So raw umber with the color that we're using, but a lot more raw umber in there. I'm softening the color a bit, the paint underneath the windowsill. So we have a strong color here, right there, kind of a darker, and then under that dark color, I'm just softening this with a bit more of the color of the wall. So far, I'm really happy with this. I'm going to leave it to dry, and then I'm going to start working on the bottom part. Same thing where the awning is. We're going to go darker. Raw umber with, I'm putting in the raw umber, a tiny bit of the main color. Let me see here. See what we're going to get in there. Yeah. Now I'm going to go in and get the color of the wall again. This dark I added first is the shadow of the awning on the wall. When we get to the bottom, where I'll show you in a minute. This is good up to now to here. We have a good color. We can, of course, we are going to adjust the color more. Like we're going to work on this more. But for now, first layer looks good. I'm glad we went with this color. It looks nice. Now, the further down I go, the darker the color is going to be. So I'm taking the color of the wall, mixing it with a bit of the raw umber here. Don't want it to be too dark, but not as bright as the center of the wall, the middle of the wall. I'm going to take more. Because, I have to think that, first of all, those pots are going to be casting a shadow over the wall a bit. So it's not completely light, and the color is not that light in there. Also, same thing, I'm going to take raw umber mixed with the original color and just kind of make this dark here underneath the windowsill of the, I think there would be a sill here or some kind of architectural detail. I can make it darker. I'm going to bring now the color of the wall again into the raw umber. Not as bright as the upper part, the wall here. That's good. Okay. I'm gonna let the paint dry, and then we'll come back to it. All right, I'm gonna pause for a minute. Okay, so to highlight this wall and do another layer, I am going to use the batch of color that I mixed in here, which is titanium buff, raw umber, Naples yellow, and white. And I'm going to add more of the, so if I don't want yellow, by the way, I don't want it to tip towards the yellow, I'm not going to use Naples yellow yet. Second layer, I'm pushing in titanium buff. Because if I push in just white with this mixture batch, I will get a cooler, lighter color, but cool. It's going to kind of leave it a little bit kind of in a warm right now, and not a thick, don't go thick layer, because we want to add more layers. And the more layers we add, if the paint is thick, the harsher it will look and the flatter it will look. We don't want it to look flat. We want some texture. So when you're painting, if you see a little bit of, when you're painting this layer, if you see a little bit of the color underneath seeping through, that's okay. Don't try to cover it. Keep it. It's nice. Gives it that texture. It gives it kind of an interesting look. You can see this color is lighter. And this will allow me to put a third layer if I want to. I'm going to start from this side, kind of lower, a little bit lower, going on an angle like this. And this one here, let's give it a, instead of a straight line, just give it some pattern here or texture right there. So it looks like leaves. Now, if I put anything over this wall, like the tree that we see in the reference, then I can glaze the shadow of the tree. If I bring the branch over here, I can glaze the shadow of a branch on the wall so that it doesn't look like it's stuck to the wall. Okay, good. Let's continue. I'm going to take, again, the color of the wall, a little bit more of the titanium buff. And then let's do the lower part. Doesn't have to be perfect. Try not to take your highlights all the way down. So keep some room, keep some of this dark showing through. So this is to show that the flowers, pots and flowers are away from the wall. They're not stuck to it again. So again, right here, we'll start right somewhere here. Okay, now going down, I'm going to start kind of putting a tiny bit, rubbing this color with the corner of my brush, whatever leftover I have. And leaving some of the dark right there. This definitely needs a third layer. Okay, whoops. So these layers I'm putting are not heavy paint. It's kind of glazing one layer after another. Glazing will allow me to see the color underneath, and it creates depth. If you start putting heavy paint right away, it's going to look flat. It's harder to, you will lose the texture. And texture is a big part of something like this, a painting like this. Now, the other thing is we're going to keep in mind when we're doing something. Look, if you look right now at the shadow right here, the brighter the color on the wall, the darker the shadow is going to look. So in order to keep this shadow soft, I have to highlight this shadow a bit, light it, make it lighter. But before we do this, I'm trying to just kind of, I don't want a lot, to do a lot here. Doesn't have to be, again, perfect, but just a bit. Cleaning up the side of the wall. I'm going to do the same here. Sorry about that. I have to turn it around. So again, I am using thin colors. Not too thin, but not thick. And the more layers you put, the nicer it looks. Okay. I'm going to pause for a minute. Okay, so I am going to soften a bit the shadow underneath here because it's looking darker and darker, but not over on top, because we're going to have a greenery. Over here, there will be nothing. So I'm just going to take the same color of I'm just going to take raw umber and bring in the color of the wall. Make the raw umber. And it's kind of like a glaze. It's not thick. I'm glazing the color on. And this will allow me to see the keep the color there, but make it softer. Let's put a bit of, yeah, it's too straight. I love glazing. It's really very good, very nice. All right. I take now the color of the wall again, put it here with the glaze that has the color of the raw umber. And just clean up. I am trying to clean up this as the fourth layer. What I'm trying to do is soften this very harsh, strong color. That's nice. It's optional. If your color looks good, and you're happy with it, don't do anything. Leave it just the way it is. I need another layer here, but I'm waiting for it to dry. Meanwhile, I'm going to take a smaller brush, flat. It's really flat. It's really kind of tapers into a good, nice tip. I'm going to take white, add it to the color of the wall at this point. And paint the windowsill. Again, the bottom part, right here. We can put on this windowsill at the bottom some small pots. Okay. So should leave it to dry. All right. Hopefully this is the last layer. I'm going to take again color of the wall, titanium buff. White. Excuse me. Oh, okay. All right, let's do this now. Should be the last layer. This has a bit of white in it. So when I added the layer of glaze on the wall here, and I let it dry, and I'm adding now a layer of lighter color, the glaze shows through. So it's perfect. See, this is glazed but darker. So I'm adding the white color on top. I can still see the glaze. So it's because the more layers that you put, the flatter it's going to look. So I'm putting, this is the fourth layer, I think, would say maybe the fourth layer. And the more layer, and I don't want it to look flat. I don't want it to look perfect. So when I glazed it and let it dry, and then I added another layer of highlight, it's not flat. Okay, good. I'm highlighting a little bit here, this wall, but I'm not taking the highlight all the way down, just up here. Okay. This needs a bit more. I'll wait for it to dry down here. Maybe one more layer. All right, that's good. That looks good. I'm going to stop recording for a minute. Okay, so we mixed here Prussian blue and burnt umber, and I added a bit of white. This is Prussian blue, a little bit of burnt umber, not much, because if you do equal amount of both colors, you will get a gray. We want gray, but we want to see the blue. So we want a gray blue. So here we go. I added white. There. Nice color. Very, very nice color. Beautiful. So I'm adding a little bit more of the brown, and then push in a little bit of blue. Let's see. I keep doing this until I find the right color, the right shade. Okay, here we go. It's good. All right, I put some masking tape, and I'm just going to put the color around. This is a big, it's too big, the brush. I'm gonna go with the smaller one. Okay. All right, so now I'm not worried about the inside because I can always go in and adjust the color, push some of these yellows, gold colors in or out. I'm going to wait for it to dry. Meanwhile, I'll do the one at the bottom. I don't want this one to be too thick. I'm going to make, I mean, I like it for the window, but I want this one here to be thinner. I'm just protecting the wall because this is a really dark color, so I'd rather use masking tape. There's a big difference between the color of the wall and the frame, color of the frame. We can do this without the masking tape if we want, but it's easier this way.
Faster. It's so much easier.
Yes, and faster, right?
Mm-hmm. Makes so much difference.
Yeah. And if somebody says this is not real art, tell them that's okay. We're having fun anyway. It is real art. All artists do that. Most artists do that. They use masking tape if they need to.
Oh, yeah. Right. Are we doing the crossbars blue too?
Yes. I said the only reason I didn't do this is because it's off center. I need to fix it before I.
Oh.
Yeah. I prefer to use two colors rather than to mix a certain shade rather than use 3 or 4 colors because it's easier for me to remix it if I need to. It's easier to you know. So yeah, let's do that here. Another one here. And when we want to highlight it, it's easy. It's easy to highlight as well when you put masking tape first.
It's not foolproof though.
Yeah, that's why I adjust a bit after I remove it.
I took the tape off and I thought, what?
Okay. Oops. I'll clean up all around the window trim with the color of the interior, like the oranges, if I need to.
Me too.
Which is easy because the oranges inside are like a mishmash of colors. You can put anything you want. And it will look fine.
This blue is a great idea.
I love this blue. Yeah, you're right. I agree. I love it. Oh, this is wrong here. Shouldn't be here.
And so the awning will still be a salmon color?
I think
Maybe
so.
not.
I don't see why not. I am concerned, not concerned, but the color of the shape. Do we want to make it flat, one color, or do you want to have a bit of, stripes or more than the actual color? I like the idea of salmon color. Ideally, it would be the same color as the wall, as the dark, or let's keep it salmon. It would bring in a warm color in there a bit, because we're working with kind of colors are a bit cool. All of these colors up till now. Let's keep it that way. Salmon. And if we don't like it, we can change it. Right? Sorry, I'm have to do this. Excuse me. Okay, we're good. I'm going to pause a bit. Now I'm going to take a bit of white, put it in this blue, same blue, not much because we don't want a very light blue. We still want this beautiful dark color, but just a little bit lighter. And I'm going to highlight a bit, not much. Try to, with no need for the masking tape. Just a small, really small difference, especially where the awning, shadow of the awning, it stops. Okay, here and down here. There's not a lot of white. I'm not putting a lot of white in here. It will dry darker, but there will be a slight difference. I don't have to take it all the way down, the highlight. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. It's not a lot of strong highlight. It's just a tiny bit of a difference. Especially where the strong light starts on the wall. Okay, here we go. And I'm not dragging it down all the way down. Whoa. Okay. I'm trying to adjust the focus so you can see it. Right. We're done for this week.
Okay.
Next week we'll continue. All right.
You take care.
You too.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you. You're welcome. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.